As always, we're glad you could tune in and be a part of the program. Very glad that you're hopefully in a warm, safe place tonight and not out in the cold. You know, it's not a profession, that being this one behind this desk, where the old saying is very often a good thing, and that being that no news is good news. But, you know, the reality of it is that more often than not, that is the case. We would love to have good news all day, every day here in the program, and we all know that's just not the world in which we live. But going out and about today searching for news stories for tonight's program, there's just not a lot happening. And that also plays into the part that there's no accidents to report this evening, no bad news to really have to put on the air. Most everyone heeding words of caution and warning, and all of us taking in a little common sense and just trying to stay off the roads as much as possible. No serious auto accidents, none of a minor nature even. In fact, in addition to the ones that we had yesterday in the program where a lot of motorists were just caught off guard in that blinding snow that just really fell at a fast pace, no serious emergencies to report, and we're very glad and very fortunate of that. Doesn't mean we don't have any news to talk about this evening, and of course, one pinnacle of that will indeed be your forecast, where we've got wind chills down well below zero tonight and on more than one occasion throughout the forecast. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't know that anyone was just thinking to themselves that what we really need is a good reinforcing shot of some Arctic air, but that's what we've got invading the area late tonight behind a cold front, isolated and scattered snow showers again tonight. Could put a dusting, a little coat on top of the several inches of snowfall that we've already got out there. Temperatures, and they're going to fall as well. Temperatures are going to fall to around 10 degrees by this front by tomorrow morning, and then remain there and then steadily fall through the single digits through Thursday night. West winds on top of that, 5 to 15 miles per hour, well, are going to knock wind chills down into the dangerous level once again. If you're wondering what roads look like out there as of late this afternoon, well, that's one of them. I just got off of a short time ago, but I'll show you more in a few moments. Real quickly, what's happening out there weather-wise? Well, we thought we had, was it 5 degrees or 6 that I expected to have last evening when I left you, and then we kind of doubled that and went backwards to a -6 for nighttime lows, much colder than what we had anticipated and expected. Not something that we're not used to. Of course, we've been there, done that as of late. Nevertheless, didn't feel good. -6 degrees, wind chills much colder than that last evening. That's where we started off this morning at that -6, and we made it up to 23 degrees. Winds currently at the start of the program at 3 miles per hour, putting our wind chill at about 14. But as temperatures fall, winds persist, we're going to see wind chills, well, go the other direction to the tune of about a -14 or 15 during the overnight hours. Another shot of Arctic air, another round of some isolated scattered snow showers tonight, and then looking down the road, they say Thursday through Tuesday of next week, more wind chills in the 0 to -10 area on several different occasions, and another round of snow possible all the way through, well, here and there, your weekend. Things from our governor's desk and elsewhere before we go any further, saying Kentucky needs to lead and not cower, as he put it. Governor Steve Beshear yesterday and last evening unveiled a 2-year budget proposal that combines harsh cuts and strategic borrowing to create funding for historic proposals, as he calls it, that supports Kentucky's schools and workforce. Governor Beshear's proposed biennial budget increases per pupil K through 12 funding to its highest level ever. It restores damaging cuts to teacher training, textbooks, school safety, and extended school services. It expands preschool services to more than 5,100 more kids throughout the Commonwealth, dedicates funds to expand high-speed broadband access throughout the state, uses agency bonds for the first time ever to invest in the campuses of Kentucky's 2-year community and technical college system, restoring funding to desperately needed child care assistance programs that helps parents stay employed, and builds a $24 million advanced manufacturing training center in Georgetown. That's just a few of the highlights, with a few more details to come on a proposed budget that did make some pretty hard cuts to higher education, with the exception of our 2-year schools, but went a long way, the governor says, towards our education for our younger people. Governor Beshear recommends investing about $189 million over the biennium into the SEEK initiative, bringing per pupil spending to its highest total ever. and $95.4 million over the biennium for textbooks, professional development, school safety, $36 million over the 2-year period to expand preschool services, $50 million for technology and school equipment upgrades, $100 million for school facilities. The governor also recommends about $520 million in general fund supported bonds and $704 million in agency bonds to invest in critical infrastructure for state universities. For the first time, the governor says he recommends authorizing about $145 million in agency bonds for the Kentucky Community and Technical College system, as I just mentioned. And through the SOAR initiative that, of course, was focused on a great deal here in eastern Kentucky, they're already seeing one product of that. In fact, earlier today, it was the governor and Representative Hal Rogers who says that they are extending high-speed broadband internet service across the state of Kentucky, beginning in eastern Kentucky, with an effort dubbed the Next Generation Kentucky Information Highway. Now, they're doing so, as was referred to in his budget address last night and their announcement today. They're going to improve Kentucky's internet accessibility, especially high-speed internet. Kentucky currently ranks 46th out of the entire 50 states in the nation, and about 25% or a little less of Kentuckians have zero access to high-speed internet. To date, they're going to fund all of this with $60 million in state bonds and $40 million from the federal and private sectors. And, of course, last evening, he also mentioned four-laning the Mountain Parkway, which came to the delight of many in eastern Kentucky and many of those who travel through. $753 million by which the Mountain Parkway will be four-laned and extended, he still says, by 2020.
It's comprised of 4 separate projects, one of which will be the focus of a public meeting tomorrow night. A reminder for you that the State Transportation Cabinet will be here. You may recall my interviewing H.B. Elkins with the Cabinet just a few days ago in regards to the public meeting, which is set for tomorrow. At that point, prior to the governor's announcement that he was going to ask for support for the more than $753 million to complete the project all the way to Pikeville, basically, at that time, Elkins was just hopeful that legislators would be inclined to fund the project, at least in some part. Well, now it appears as though the funding may not be such an issue as it has been. Nevertheless, the Transportation Cabinet is going to unveil its plans tomorrow for the specific area of Salyersville, identified as the small blue line there that we're familiar with as Restaurant Row. Residents of Montgomery County are invited to attend the public informational meeting tomorrow to see the plans that they have brought with them, ones that they had taken from the initial plans that we saw several months ago and then revamped to a lot of public input. Still seeking input tomorrow, though. They ask for your attendance at 5 o'clock at the Montgomery County High School in an open house format meeting with in hand handouts available describing the project's purpose and need, the right-of-way acquisition process details, and potential utility relocation concerns. Members of the public are also going to be able to view displays showing the exact proposed route and the properties to be impacted by the project.
And that meeting, once again, is tomorrow. It's from 5 to 7. We have no reason to believe it's been canceled or postponed at this point due to weather conditions, as they are slowly improving. But 5 to 7 tomorrow at the Montgomery County High School. To be perfectly honest, I can only assume that is in either the library or the cafeteria until this very moment. That question had not entered my mind. It'll be very easy and obvious, I'm sure, to find exactly where it's going to be in the high school tomorrow evening. We'll have a camera there and a report to follow the following day. More news following this.
It's definitely the pie that sets it apart from everything you've ever known, tasted, or loved about a Reese's Cup or a DQ Blizzard. Real Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, creamy vanilla soft serve, and a real crunchy graham pie crust that gives it the texture and taste you'll never forget. But hurry, because it's the Blizzard of the month at your Salyersville Dairy Queen. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. The 2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground, 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99% for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville.
January is Employee Month at Hutch Chevrolet, as you will buy like a Hutch employee. You pay what we pay.
Hello, this is Earl Justice. Hutch Chevrolet is introducing a new way to buy a new car. It's the Hutch Easy Pay plan. It will cut your payments up to 40% every month, just like the new 2014 Chevy Equinox. Don't pay over $500 per month. Now with the new Hutch Easy Pay, only $325.08 a month. Get to Hutch Chevrolet GMC, Paintsville, Kentucky. Isn't it time for you to buy Hutch?
Hi, I'm Don McFarland, and I want to be your family lawyer. Sometimes we all have troubles in our life, and when we do, it's good to have a friend that you can call on and during times of legal trouble. Please give me a call. I have been here my entire life. I was born here, I was raised here, I have a family here, and I've practiced law here since 1994. So if you ever have pain, if you ever have trouble, if you're ever in need, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
Check out our daily specials to get even better after 4 o'clock only at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where Thursday is Dipper Day. That's right, get our boneless wing dipper meal with your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.99 or only $4.29 after 4 p.m. only at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe.
School's still out tomorrow, and I just can't see them getting back in session this week after taking a quick look around some Magoffin County and Johnson County roads earlier today.
Well, I thought finding out road conditions might be of great importance to a lot of folks who didn't have to get out and get on roads today. A lot of businesses closed, schools canceled, and just a lot of cancellations across the board. The main thoroughfares, as you can see, are basically clear. That was an example on New 460 of that one spot in a shaded area every now and again that will kind of catch you off guard just when you think that roads are totally clear. So don't let your caution or guard down. This is not one of the main thoroughfares, but 825 off of 460 taking you back over to Route 40 into Magoffin County. As you can see, well, it's still a little sketchy. Now, traveling on it wasn't obviously impossible. In a 4-wheel drive, I was, but in a 2-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, probably still passable at the time, but that was earlier when things were, I don't want to say slushy, but just a little bit soft in comparison to how they're going to be tonight after everything refreezes. Now, for example, this is Route 40 coming out of 825, headed back towards Magoffin County, and for a little bit, it's still a bit sketchy, and some folks not really slowing down or minding too awfully bad that roads are bad in some areas. That's another thing to be on the lookout for. Coming into Magoffin County off of Route 40, the roads did start to improve and were clear for the most part, but remember those wet areas will refreeze tonight, and black ice will be an issue. Some other spots in Magoffin County, turning on to Literal. Well, I was very glad that I didn't have to drive Literal on more than one occasion today. It was a little slow going. It was very slow going, and it only continued to get worse, it seemed, as the closer you got to the top of the hill. And, of course, if these are the main roads that crews are working so hard to try to clear, you can imagine what side roads are like. And remember, whenever you go up, you got to go down, and going down is always worse. Roads like Ticklick, other side roads, are never going to be able to see attention from large, heavy equipment, and these, of course, are going to take some of the longest times to clear, and these, of course, will be some roads that school buses are not going to be able to follow up on anytime soon. This was going back down Literal Hill much slower than me going up for obvious reasons, and then, remember, coming to a stop at intersections, it always proves a little bit touchy. Now, going up Mine Fork was a comparison of daylight and dark. The Mine Fork side of the hill was basically clear and cleared. No problems at all that I discovered all the way to the top of the ridge and back. The Mine Fork side, very clear and very passable. 460, Route 7, other such roads, all the main roads clear, except for those few spots where water is flowing over, going to refreeze, things of that nature. Mash Fork has some spots where, of course, you want to just take your time throughout. And we're already down to 17 degrees and falling at this hour, and we're going to fall a lot farther than that. So while it's an improvement, it's still just better to stay in if you can. The Magoffin County Farm Bureau sponsored community calendar is next. And while I suspect that we'll be getting a lot of updated calendar announcements for the rescheduling of several meetings and happenings tonight, we just have a couple of reminders. Actually, this is one we have an addendum to. As I mentioned to you yesterday, the Water into Wide Food Pantry over at the Lakefront Church of God, the old Middle Fork Elementary School here in McGoffin County, was to be open today, and they indeed were. I also received a message late last evening, I believe it was, that they would also, in lieu of a lot of folks not being able to reach the pantry today, be open tomorrow. And I don't have a specific time. They didn't leave that in the message, but that they were planning on being open again tomorrow at the Water into Wine Food Pantry to distribute food boxes again tomorrow in lieu of the bad weather. Once again, they're located, of course, at the Lakefront Church of God at their new location over at the old Middle Fork Elementary School. Other than that, just a couple of quick reminders that you can still donate some eyeglasses. If you keep rushing out the door and keep forgetting them lying back and you want to make sure you get to donate them, try to get them down to the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center before they gather them up and take them overseas. Our friend Leola Cole is organizing and spearheading this event once again, as she has for years, and any unneeded eyeglasses will be greatly appreciated and sent to some folks who can certainly put them into good use and have no means to get their own. Strawberry and grafting rootstock orders can be made at your McGoffin County Extension office. The clock is quickly ticking down on the deadline. You can come by or call them at 349-3216. And if you've got a cancellation, you've got a rescheduling for your club, your organization, and otherwise announcement, birthday or anniversary, this is how you get it all to us. Local funeral service announcements brought to you on behalf of the McGoffin County Funeral Home and McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com. With two listings this evening, the first in honor of 86-year-old Paul Edward Arnott of Royalton, who passed away at the age of 86 on Sunday. He was married to Alma Jean Wireman Arnott, who survives, and besides his loving wife, Paul is survived by 6 daughters: Narda Miller, Paula Austin, Annetta Hill, Denise Gamble, Char Howington, and Helga Yates. Visitation continues this evening, and any time prior to services, they'll start tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial will follow services at the Stevens Cemetery in Royalton. And the McGoffin County Funeral Home has just forwarded me information in regards to the passing of 81-year-old Edna Mann Blanton of Coon Creek here in McGoffin County. Survived by her husband, Owen Blanton. She's also survived by daughter, Winna Burnett. Services have been set for this Friday at 1 o'clock at the McGoffin County Funeral Home Chapel, with burial to follow thereafter at the Moses Howard Cemetery on Coon Creek. Friends and family are invited to visitation beginning after 5 o'clock on tomorrow evening. Once again, services for Edna Mann Blanton Friday at 1.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
This is John at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville, Kentucky. We appreciate y'all shopping with us, and if you're in the market for a used vehicle, we carry all sorts of different kinds of makes and models. For example, here I have a 2009 Chevy Malibu LT. I also have a 2010 Toyota Corolla S. It's no problem to find you what you're looking for. Give us a call at 297-4121 in Paintsville, Kentucky.
Love is in the air at the seasonal shop with something sweet for all your hearts. with cute $5 or $10 custom Valentines perfect for the kids at school, and other adorable cuddly candy bouquets just perfect for everyone. And they've got the finest in Whitman's chocolates and more ways to say I love you than you can imagine throughout the store. Fashionable and fan-favorite handbags and jewelry for her. Absolutely anything and everything UK for him, and even Big Blue for the cutest of Valentines. And just in, sassafras burlap designs in monogrammed doormats and garden flags to say welcome. All this and so much more only at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Salyersville. Start off the new year with some brand new duds. Regardless of how hard you have to work or how hard you want to play, if you're stepping out or if it's what you're stepping in, Red's Boot Barn has got you covered with work, play, and western boots by Muck, Ariat, Red Wing, Blackjack, and more, and winter and western wear by Wrangler, Ariat, Miss Me, Outback, and Carhartt, just to name a few. Happy 2014 from everyone at Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville. From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Salyersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Salyersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
Is undoubtedly wreaking havoc in a whole lot of areas as far as schedules are concerned, not just in the school system, but meetings this week, for example, the fiscal court meetings, some other meetings which we were to attend and sit in on, all of which have been postponed to a later date and to no announcements yet. I think everyone is just waiting to see when the weather is going to let up before trying to schedule anything else at this point. But high school basketball has to go on. It all has to be done by the time tournament season rolls around, and that means that teams are going to try to get back on track tomorrow night.
Not everybody's scheduled to get back on the court tomorrow night, but a lot of teams are, and most everyone has something on the schedule before the end of the week. Whether or not it's going to be able to stay on schedule, well, that's going to be at least maybe referred to in your forecast in just a few moments. As for the Hornets and the McGoffin County teams, well, the boys are in action Friday night, day after tomorrow. We've got a home game. They're hosting the Cougars of Morgan County, two area teams, local high school basketball. If you got a case of cabin fever, here's how you can get rid of it. And this, of course, coming after their last game, which goes all the way back to the 14th. And it was a heartbreaker by 1 point to South Floyd. Nevertheless, they're at home Friday night. Now, the Lady Hornets are in action. They're at Boyd County tomorrow night. Now, the girls got to get in a game towards earlier in the week on Monday before the weather went totally haywire. They were on the road at Valley and came home with a win, 55-42. McGoffin County Lady Hornets now 13-4 as far as the season goes, still sitting well atop 15th Region girls basketball. The Paintsville Tigers also got a game in Monday against Lawrence County on the road, a loss, 56-64. That puts the boys from Paintsville at 5-9. They're at Wolfe County tomorrow night. As for the Lady Tigers, well, they had a cancellation, at least one, and they are going to be at Russell tomorrow night. Now, this after their most recent game. It goes back to the 17th against Johnson Central, a loss, 45-61. Nevertheless, they get back in action tomorrow night at Russell. The Golden Eagles of Johnson Central, the boys at Sheldon Clark this Friday. Oh, and I've got to go back. I almost forgot something. I got to go back. Nevertheless, the boys at Sheldon Clark, that's the Golden Eagles of Johnson Central, Friday night. Now, this after their last contest, a win over Lawrence County by 4. That was on the night of the 18th. That goes back to this past Saturday. So everybody having some downtime of at least 4 or 5 days, if not a little longer. As for the Lady Golden Eagles, well, they are at Lawrence County on Saturday. They did take on Sheldon Clark at home Monday night, and they picked up a win by 5, 44-39. Now, the Lady Golden Eagles having a pretty good year, 11-8 thus far, and once again at Lawrence County this Saturday. As for Morgan County and the Cougars, the boys, well, let's begin with them. They are at, as we just covered, McGoffin County here Friday night of this week. Now, this after the game that they did get in, the boys in the All-A, they're in the 16th region, so the 16th region All-A Classic. They fell in the first round 49-66 to Elliott County. However, the Lady Cougars also took on Elliott County in the first round of the 16th region All-A Classic and won 55-45. Now, here's what's happening in the 16th region. The semifinal round between Menifee County and West Carter girls, well, was to be played this evening beginning at 6 o'clock. The winner of that game will face the Lady Cougars of Morgan County in tomorrow night's game, championship game, at 6 p.m. After that, they're set to host East Carter on Monday. And somehow, well, I'm not surprised, and you aren't either, probably. Somehow I missed the fact, in keeping up with all of our area teams, that the Lady Tigers, this picture coming from the Paintsville Herald, which is what brought it to my attention today, well, they defeated Sheldon Clark and the Lady Cardinals Thursday night in the 15th Region All-A Classic Tournament. That's right, at the East Kentucky Expo, it was the Lady Tigers of Paintsville, their third All-A regional title. Now, they had a big game. They continued to win, continued some dominance throughout the game. They had an 18-12 round in the third quarter, 40-19, 8 minutes to play in the game according to the Herald, and they brought home the trophy, the net, and everything else, as they are your new 15th Region All-A Girls Basketball Tournament champions. Congratulations. Now, I just got a few moments to wrap it up with your Licking Valley RECC forecast. It is not letting up. I mean, it is just not. There is just more. If we could just find a way to make some money off of this cold air, we've all got it. We've got plenty of it, more than we could ever use or want for ourselves. Yeah, I'm dreaming again. Nevertheless, I've got 17 degrees. Now I've got 16 degrees outside the newsroom at the current time frame. Winds at this moment are calm, but that's not necessarily going to be the case over the course of this evening. Keep in mind, we are going to fall, as far as temperatures are concerned, throughout the remainder of the night to a low of about 6 degrees by in the morning, and we're not going to get much better than that during the day tomorrow. So we have a 6-degree low tonight. Factor in winds. We're talking -6 to -10 degrees. Below zero tonight is more so what the wind chill factor will be when we have 10 to 14 mile per hour gusts throughout the overnight. We also have a shot of some scattered snow showers. Right now the window looks to be, as far as the best chance, between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. So look for a little light covering or dusting on top of what we've already got out there. Insult to injury, however you want to phrase it, that's what's staring us in the face for your forecast and for your Thursday. That 6-degree low tonight, and I know we fell much lower than that last night and this morning, and that's what we were expecting, but 6 degrees during the overnight and the early morning hours is only going to improve by 10 tomorrow. Thursday looks to be partly sunny and just brutally cold again, 16 degrees. You factor in winds, 10 to 18 mile per hour gust, wind chills, -10, -15 degrees below zero again. A low tomorrow night, back down into near zero territory at 2 degrees. That will, with lighter winds from the west, 6 to 9, put us back to wind chills, -7, -10 tomorrow night. It starts to calm down just a bit by the time Friday gets around here. 22 for the high, sunny skies. The sun will help at least a little bit continue to clear roadways. I'm hopeful that school is going to start next week. It may be in session Friday, but right now I'm just worried about Monday of next week. A low of 18 Friday night, another round of some snow possible Friday night into your Saturday. Saturday we do flirt with the freezing mark, a low of 15, mostly cloudy skies, another chance of some snow. Saturday and winding up with some flurries, or winding down with flurries Saturday evening, just in time for your Sunday forecast, where we're getting maybe above freezing by a degree, a low of 19, a little more sunshine, and yet another shot of some snowfall that will continue on into, look at it, just when you thought we were out of the woods, we take another dive, 18 degrees to start off the week on Monday, another slight chance. Even right now it's just flurries and a slight chance. It still is snow in every sense of the word and reality. It's just a pattern that's not going to go away. I'm thinking summer looks to be, well, a good time for a school to get out. Not a good time, looks to be like the appropriate time that's going to be out calendar-wise if we don't have something change with the trend that we're in the midst of. Nevertheless, snow days are fun. Enjoy them if you can, because there's nothing else you can do. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Thanks for watching.